Well, hello, folks. It's 7 o'clock on the east coast of Australia, and it's welcome to Radio FM88 Australia. It's a special edition, and the reason you'll find out if you stick around and have a listen to who we've who we've ascertained to come and really open up the lids on our depth of knowledge and understanding to do with pyramids. I'm going to pass it over straight up to the top of the tree there with Andrena. And so it's a good morning to you.
Hi, Jeffrey. Good morning, everybody. Good day, and welcome wherever you are in the world today. I can hear an echo going on. Right. Can you hear the echo, Jeff?
No.
Oh. Well, I can hear myself echoing. Anyway. We have, as Jeff said, we've got an extra special show today, and it's my great pleasure to have Dr. Sam Osmanagich on the show, or Dr. Magic, and Tara Sever. This is very off-putting. I don't know why I've got this echo. Sorry. Anyway. Dr. Sam, author of 18 books, Bosnian and American scientists of megalithic pyramids and discovering ancient pyramids, worldwide expert, oh gosh, there's so much more. So I'm not going to waffle on. And Tara's been helping and assisting. You've got a tour coming up around Australia in a couple of weeks. So without further ado, welcome. Where would you like to start with all of this?
Well, hello everyone. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Tara. So my name is Dr. Sam Osmanagich, and I've been researching pyramid and megalithic sites for the last 4 decades. And I have concluded that almost everything they teach us about the ancient history is wrong. The origin of man, civilizations, and pyramids. They teach us in schools that pyramids are built in Egypt and Mexico, and that would be wrong. I have been visiting and investigating pyramids on all 6 continents in more than 30 countries. 250 pyramids in central Chinese province of Shanxi, Kokher Pyramid in Cambodia, Gunung Padang in West Java, Indonesia, 7 pyramids on the island of Mauritius in the middle of the Indian Ocean, 224 Nubian pyramids in northern Sudan, 155 in Egypt, 104 on Canary Islands, more than 300 in Peru, Acapena Pyramid Complex in Bolivia. My PhD is about the Mayan pyramids. And the Mayan civilization built over 100,000 pyramids in the countries that we call today Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Belize. And exactly this is the cover of my book, Pyramids Around the World. Of course, we have pyramids on the American soil, 120 Cahokia pyramids in the state of Illinois. And in Europe, 3 Palencia pyramids in Spain, 43 on the island of Sicily, Italy, 16 ancient Greece. So we can see that the world of the past was the world of pyramids. The second thing that they teach us wrong about the pyramids is that the Egyptian pyramids, where you just went, Andrea, they're telling us they were tombs for the pharaohs. Well, you probably entered 1 or 2 pyramids at the Giza Plateau. Maybe the Great Pyramid of Egypt, most probably. And the other one, sometimes they open Mykerinos, sometimes they open Khafre Pyramid. In those chambers, no mummies. Well, like I said, I have investigated 155 of them on Egyptian soil, not a single mummy. Of course, the Egyptian pharaohs have been buried, but in the Valley of Kings, near Luxor, which is 600 kilometers to the south from the Giza Plateau, in Abydos, in Dendera, in Thebes, in Memphis, in their capitals, not in the pyramids. So in 21st century, we will need to answer the question, who really built those magnificent structures, when, how, and most importantly, why. So for that, we need science, and this is what I've been doing for decades. In April of 2005, I first traveled to Bosnian town of Visoko, just half an hour drive from the capital city of Sarajevo. I went to see the local museum, but then what I saw is exactly what's behind Jeffrey and his background. I saw everybody called it hill because it is covered in vegetation and forest. But I was looking at the geometry. From there, you can see one side and one triangular face. Then I was driving around and I was able to see that there were four sides, four triangular faces. And even though it is covered by forest, which, by the way, has been planted back in 1960s and 70s, for me, the geometry was very obvious. It was a four-sided pyramid. I took compass, and compass showed me that those four sides perfectly match the cardinal points: east, west, north, and south. And this is how the pyramids were built in Indonesia, China, Egypt, Peru, or other places around the world. So the first year, 2005, I got the permission from the Ministry of Culture as an individual to do some preliminary work. Everything I did, geological core drilling, archaeological trenches, lab analysis, there were anomalies. They could not be explained by the geological natural processes. I wrote the book in October 2005. I had a big press conference in Sarajevo where I announced the news to the world that the first European pyramids have been discovered. After that, I established a non-profit, non-government foundation under the name Archaeological Park Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun Foundation. And we have started archaeological and scientific work, and this Bosnian Pyramid project has become the most active archaeological site in the world. Every year, hundreds of volunteers, and Tara here was able to witness their coming and their work. Dozens of our full-time employees, dozens of experts from different fields, they come to Bosnia and they work on this most exciting project. So this is what we have concluded so far. These are the results of our work. We have a complex of 6 pyramids, which we name the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, Moon, Dragon, Temple of Mother Earth, Pyramid of Love, and the 6th pyramid. We have 2 tumuli. One tumulus in the village called Vratnica, another one in the village called Ginje. Tumulus in archaeology, they are artificial conical hills, and we have a huge network of underground tunnels. In the last 2 decades, we have discovered entrances to 7 tunnels so far on 2 different levels. And we named those tunnels Tunnel Ravne, Ravne 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the KTK tunnels. So, in other words, we have huge construction complex above the ground and below the ground. Why am I saying huge? Well, we have done a series of measurements when it comes to the dimensions of the pyramid, especially the largest one, the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun. For example, we applied so-called LiDAR technology. This is the map of the tunnels under the pyramids. So LiDAR technology told us the exact size, the height of the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun. It is 368 meters. Well, the Great Pyramid of Egypt is 146.5. So If this is Great Pyramid of Egypt, well, this is the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun,
Wow.
2.5 times higher, dozens of times bigger in the volume. Well, what we have actually discovered under the layers of soil, 1 meter below the soil, 3.5 feet, we started discovering blocks, some of them rectangular, some of them square, in different layers at different levels. We have analyzed the material from the blocks at 7 Institute for Materials. In Italy, Politecnico di Torino; in France, Geopolymer Institute; in Czech, Slovakia, Bosnia. They all told us it was an artificially made concrete. Now, when it comes to the concretes, you can determine the quality of the concrete based on 2 elements. The first one is hardness. Harder the concrete, it's more durable, it lasts longer. Now, these are blocks from the Moon Pyramid. They are sandstone blocks. So, going back to the concrete on the Pyramid of the Sun. Our concrete today is in the range from 10 megapascals to 60 megapascals. 60 being made in Germany, America, and so on. After we have analyzed 50 samples, the hardness is in the range from 74 to 155. Now, this is the quality that we cannot make today in the 21st century with our technology. So this is the best quality ever. The second element to determine the quality is water absorption. If water can get inside the concrete material, especially during the winter times, it freezes, and the ice has a tendency to expand, and concrete breaks. Therefore, we keep our norm very strict, up to 3% on water absorption. Well, guess what? Bosnian Pyramid concrete is only 1%. Therefore, it is superior. And we have those concretes after so many thousands of years still intact. So, this is what we discovered under the layers of soil. And then we realized that the layout of the pyramids is very specific. When we connect on the topographic map the tops of the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, Moon, and Dragon, the distance between Sun and the Moon is 2,180 meters. From the Moon to Dragon, 2,180. From Dragon to the Sun, 2,180. Well, obviously, they form perfect equilateral triangle with the inner angles at 60 degrees. Such triangle is part of the sacred geometry. Another element of sacred geometry is golden section spiral. Since you were in Egypt, let me just say this. When you look at the Great Pyramid of Egypt, you can see a triangle in front of you. It is an equilateral triangle. And you probably went inside. There is a so-called King's Chamber. If we start the golden section spiral, that's a spiral that we can see on the seashells all the way to the spiral galaxies. Well, when you start at the King's Chamber, the beginning of the spiral, this spiral touches the bottom of the pyramid, then goes to the half of the height, and then all the way to the top of the pyramid. And guess what? In Bosnia, we have not 1, but 7 golden section spirals. For example, if we started the spiral from the very important place, which is the mouth of 2 rivers, River Fonis and River Bosnia, that are located in the Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids, then on this spiral, we have top of the Sun Pyramid, entrance to the tunnels, and top of the tumulus in Vratnica. Another spiral. Yes.
People are saying there's an echo coming through. I'm not getting the echo, but do you have, you and Tara, do you have a mobile phone going, or you a show.
Well, I'm talking on the mobile phone, so I cannot help.
Oh no, but have you got another? Handset there or a computer there?
No,
That's
no.
okay. You know what I'm saying. Tara, have you got you've got Facebook going or YouTube that's coming on the background? Okay, righty. I don't know what's going on there.
I'll just check here if something is on, but
it's only you've got something else open, so then you get the you know what it's like when you get a microphone close to a speaker, you get that reverb and there's something's going on in the background that people are talking about.
Okay.
Yes, I got all mine switched
in
off.
the room, but nothing is on.
Okay.
Okay, they're off. Maybe we can continue. Is it better now?
Andrew,
okay, so
you go.
Yeah, so the second golden section spiral, you start from the top of the pyramid of love. On the spiral, we have top of the sun pyramid, top of the temple of Mother Earth, top of the dragon pyramid, and top of the tumulus. So it is remarkable how the ancients were so careful how they are going to lay out those structures. Why is that important? When you have elements of sacred geometry, you have the movement of the energy. There you go. So this is the Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids. So we continued our research and we realized that the orientation of the pyramids to the north is very significant. Pyramids in China, Indonesia, Egypt, they are all oriented to the north. For example, the Great Pyramid of Egypt has an error of the perfect cosmic north of 0 degrees and 3 minutes. And number one, which is the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun on this slide, has an error, according to the State Institute for Geodesy, of 0 degrees, 0 minutes, and only 12 seconds. This is the most precise orientation on the planet. So, element by element, applying the science, we have realized that this is so special construction complex from the past. So, what we really have here, the first pyramids in Europe, the most precise orientation to the north, the best quality concrete, the largest pyramid on the planet, the most extensive underground tunnel network. In other words, everything we touch changes the human history forever. And now we are coming to the most exciting part. What is the age of the pyramid? We came to that answer gradually. First, we've analyzed the soil that covers the pyramid. And the soil and clay, according to the State Institute for the Pedology, is about 15,000 years old. If the soil is 15,000, it means that the structure below is much older. And then we discover
Oh.
Okay, we are back. So we go 25,000, and that's the minimum age. And then we discovered fossilized leaves between the concrete blocks.
Wow.
How those leaves got there? Well, obviously, somebody was pouring concrete layer, first one, second one, the third one. There you go. This is the concrete. And the wind was blowing, bringing those leaves, and then they placed the final coat of concrete. Now, those leaves are organic material. We can date them, and they're going to give us exact age of the construction. We did radiocarbon dating, and the age of the leaves, 29,200 years, plus minus 400 years. This is what's called in science radiocarbon age. In order to get calibrated date or calendar age, we add on such a long period about 14%. So the true age of the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun is 33,600 years. And now this is what really shocked the archaeological community. So biggest pyramids of all the countries in Bosnia, and now more than 30,000 years. So this is the game changer. And now here, okay, this is good billboard which shows experts who actually came to Bosnia. Because we have so many people on internet saying it's impossible, no pyramids, natural, but actually we have people who came. Top left, just next to me is Professor Dr. Nabil Svelin, triple PhD in Egyptology and archaeology. He was coming for 3 years, and he said that the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun is the largest pyramid on the planet. It's a genius and very complicated construction project. Then next to him, we have a Russian leading geophysicist, Professor Havroshkin. He was applying his scientific instruments, confirming that these are artificial structures. We have Dr. Paula Violette from US, astrophysicist and historian, saying this is the biggest discovery in history. The guy with the bird is double PhD J.J. Hertog from the US. He said because of the discovery of Bosnian pyramids, Egyptology will need to change the definition of the pyramid. Next to him, Valery Uvarov, the most productive pyramid builder from the University of St. Petersburg in Russia. He said Bosnian pyramids are the oldest pyramid structures on the planet, and so on. And I think it's good that he showed this billboard, because from the day one there was a controversy, not because of us, because what we do archaeology, we do science, we apply scientific methodology, but because of a lot of people who don't want to accept the new discoveries. Why? Because they were taught one way by their teachers, and now they teach the kids the wrong way. They wrote their PhDs, they got their professorships, they're teaching our kids human civilization only 5,000-6,000 years old. What are they talking about? I mean, just, the recent discovery, Göbekli Tepe, more than 12,000 years. You take Machu Picchu, the first civilization, 54,000 years. Yonaguni monuments on the bottom of the Pacific, next to the Japan's coast, more than 12,000 years. Baalbek, the biggest blocks, more than 12,000 years. Teotihuacan, Mexican pyramids, more than 12,000 years. And it's going to turn out that even all these Egyptian pyramids, they're not 4,500 years old. They were not built by slaves. They had no technology then. It was built much, much deeper in the past by more advanced civilization. So the science exists there to bring us new knowledge. And if you need to change the history books, if you need to change what we wrote in our PhDs, so let it be. Let's change that. And this is what's called progress. So the next thing we were doing in Bosnia, we were trying to figure out the answers to 5 major questions. The first question is what? What is this? Well, we have huge pyramid complex. The second question is who? We don't have the exact answer on that one, but we do know that we are facing very advanced civilization who was able to manipulate with millions of tons of materials. The civilization who was able to make the best quality concrete, who knew the elements of sacred geometry, who had excellent knowledge in geodesy. The third question is when? We answered that one, more than 30,000 years. The fourth one is how? Well, really, how did they make such a good quality concrete? We have analyzed physical chemical analysis of the concrete, and we realized that they were using pebbles, rocks, and sand, which they got by digging the tunnels. But the binder was the major question. Today, we use cement as the binder. Cement is artificial material. They never use artificial materials. They always use natural materials, but they know properties of the natural construction materials. For the binder, they use melted clay. And when it got dry from liquid state, it was the better binder than cement. Plus, they were adding some additives like granite dust, so it could be much stronger than just regular concrete. So this was really amazing discovery, with how they were doing it. And then the major question is of course, why? What is the true purpose of pyramids? Now, very early, we realized that archaeology, Egyptology, geology, biology, the classical sciences are not enough to explain us the purpose. We really needed the true scientists, people with the scientific instruments, physicists, atomic physicists, quantum physicists, and engineers, electrical engineers, sound engineers, telecommunication engineers, and the medical doctors. They have instruments, they come, they measure. If it is measurable, then you can scientifically prove that. So, for example, we have had 5 different teams from 5 different countries: Croatia, Italy, Serbia, Finland, and Germany. They are bringing their own instruments. For example, they are doing measurements on the top of the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun. This is what they measured. They measured the existence of energy beam, which is 4.5 meters in diameter, which is 28 kilohertz frequency. It is electrical in nature, exactly, and it is the ultrasound in nature. And then, as we were going above St. Drone, we realized that the signal is getting stronger as it moves away from the top of the pyramid. In science, this phenomenon is called the scalar waves. So 5 different themes, 5 different time periods: summer, fall, winter, and spring, day and night. They all got the same results. Well, in science, it is called an international scientific verification of the phenomenon. This energy being the scalar waves, which was really investigated by our genius mind, Nikola Tesla, 125 years ago, and by the Russian physicists in the last 50 years. And they concluded that scalar waves move quicker than the speed of light. So they are ideal medium to transport the energy, to transport the information. So our conclusion number 1, as far as the purpose, thank you, Jeff, is that Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun was potentially used as the communication device, but communication on very long distances. Now, the second purpose: every year we have plenty of visitors coming to visit our site. Just to give you an idea, back in 2008, we had 10,000 visitors. 2018, 40,000 visitors. 2023, 195,000 visitors. 2024, last year, 245,000 people came to see the Bosnian Pyramids. That's 250,000 people. And guess what? Not a penny from the government to support our marketing or to support our archaeological work. So we do it all by ourselves, our non-profit foundation. So 250,000 people came to see the pyramids. Majority of them went to the tunnels. And we have noticed, well, it's been more than 15 years now, that people, when they come back, they are somehow full of the energy. They feel good. People who has respiratory problems, asthma and similar, they breathe so well. As a matter of fact, deeper they go, they breathe better and better. Not very logical, but nothing in Bosnia is logical. They come back, they don't need inhaler, they pump now. People with a high blood pressure, for example, you enter the tunnels, thank you, Jeff, 180 over 120, you spend 45 to 60 minutes, you come back, your blood pressure is back to normal, 120 over 80. People with the high sugar, high glucose in the blood. For example, when it comes to the glucose, 3 to 6 is normal level. 6 to 10, risky group, above the 10, diabetes. If people have, let's say, 10, almost diabetes, after 1 hour, the glucose level drops to 5, 5.5, to the normal level. There is no medicine that can reduce your sugar for so much in 45 minutes. But visit to the Bosnian Pyramid Tunnel can. People with all kinds of pains, in most cases they are gone. People with a very serious disease, it can be tumor, it can be cancer, or some others. We can see the revolutionary improvement of their health. Now, note this. We always say that our foundation is not in the healing business. We don't give medical guarantees. But what we do, we measure. We wanted to find out why is this happening. So we've been measuring 10 different energy phenomena, and very briefly. The first 5 is the absence of all harmful radiations in the tunnels, and we see the pictures from the tunnels right now. What are the harmful radiations? We are exposed to them right now, all 4 of us. The first one, the cosmic radiation. Some of them are harmful, attacking our body cells, fighting those enemies. In the tunnels, no harmful cosmic radiations, no harmful natural radioactivity coming from the underground, no harmful geopathogen radiation, underground waters, Hartmann intersections and so on. No harmful signal for the mobile phones, 3G, 4G, 5G. No harmful Wi-Fi signal. So without those radiations, our body cells don't have enemies. And for the first time in their life, they can start doing their job. What is their job? To fix the problems in our body, to start the regeneration process. Now he's showing something very interesting. That's water. I will be talking about the water. See the picture on the top. There's the molecular structure of the water from the tunnels. But let me finish with the healing aspect first. These are the first 5 energy phenomena, absence of bad, harmful radiations. The other 5 are good energies. The best frequency of electromagnetic field, 28 kilohertz, the best frequency of the ultrasound, 28 kilohertz, that's the levitation frequency. Number 8, very low frequency of 7.83 hertz, which is called the original Schumann resonance. Number 9, high level of the orgone or life energy. And number 10, the highest concentration of negative ions. They are very beneficial. You put those 10 elements together, the Bosnian Pyramid tunnels are the safest and the healthiest place on the planet. So that's the reason why we had so many healing experiences. Therefore, our second conclusion about the energy of the Bosnian pyramids is that it was used to protect what is the most precious to us. That would be our health. Number 3, it just showed the molecular structure of the water from the pyramid tunnels. Now, in the 5 tunnels, we discovered water. And we have compared the results with our city water and our bottled water. Now, the medical authorities are telling us city water is healthy, there are no microbes. Well, that's true. There are no viruses, bacteria, fungi, parasites. Why? Because it's been treated by chlorine. Well, in some countries like Australia, New Zealand, UK, US, and Republic of Ireland, and Canada, Argentina, Chile, fluoride has been added. Now, both chlorine or chloride and fluoride, they are actually poisons. All our lives we drink poisons. No wonder we are getting sick. In our city water, there are traces of heavy metals because the water goes through metal pipes, melting the metal particles, coming to our kitchens through plastic pipes, melting the plastic. So what we do, we drink plastic particles, metal particles, and now we can see that people are dying from cancer. In many cases, we can find the plastic in their heart, in their brain. It has never happened before. That's our city water. The tunnel water, it has not been treated. No chlorine, no fluoride, no traces of heavy metals, no plastics, but magnesium, yes. Calcium, yes. Kalium, yes. pH 7.45, it's alkaline, is the same pH level like our blood. This water, as you could see on that picture, is hexagonal in shape. Our city water is totally deformed. We are what we drink. Well, the water from the tunnels, vibrating high, energetically alive, I call it happy water. The third conclusion about the pyramid energy, it's been used to improve the molecular structure of the most important liquid in our life, and that would be water. Number 4, we are what we eat. Well, we've done experiments with the seeds of different plants. For example, seeds of beans. We put a bag with the seeds, one bag to our home. It was control group. We put the bag in the tunnels and the bag on the top of the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun. But those two bags were exposed to the pyramid energy. We planted the seeds in our beautiful park, and the season of the beans is from the May until the beginning of September. The pyramid seeds were growing 3 times quicker, richer, healthier. So pyramid energy affects the DNA of all living beings, including plants. So our conclusion number 4, pyramid energy was used to improve our food. Number 5, immunity. We live in the time when our immunity has been eroded. Water, food, pollutant in the air, the soil has been poisoned. From TVs, from bad electromagnetic fields, from what we think. All this affects our immunity. You go to the tunnels, one visit raises your immunity level, and then you can fight every disease, every virus they exist, and so on. So conclusion number 5, immunity. Number 6, spiritual senses. Now, when it comes to the spirituality, I think it's very important to define what the spirituality is. When I was young, going to school decades ago, they were teaching us spirituality equals religion. Well, religion is one thing. Faith is another thing. Spirituality is also another thing. For me, spirituality is development of spiritual senses, so we can sense the world beyond the physical reality. What does that mean? What is the physical reality? That is something that we form based on our 5 physical senses. Thank you for showing the map of the Southern Europe. And the Bosnia is right there. It is heart-shaped country, small country, 55,000 square kilometers, officially 3.5 million people, but I believe 2 million at the most. The rest of them are in Germany, America, Australia, Austria, Slovenia, Croatia, and so on. So, we are talking about the spirituality. The 5 physical senses telling us, using the sense, the eyesight, what we can see. What we can see is the less than 1% of everything that's happening around us. We can see only within the range of those 7 frequencies, 7 different colors. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. We don't see 99% stuff around us. What we can hear, we hear sound. Sound we hear from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Above 20 kilohertz, ultrasound we don't hear, megahertz we don't hear, gigahertz we don't hear, infrasound, very deep sounds we don't hear. So we hear 0.7% of all sounds. So basically we have very limited picture of our world, of our reality. But we have 30 spiritual senses. And guess what? The pyramid energy can help us develop our spiritual senses. What are they? The first spiritual sense is to feel the energy. And those who come to the Bosnian pyramid tunnels, when they go in there with our guide, we ask them when we sit around one of those big blocks, a ceramic block called K2. They open their hands and they can feel the energy. So it's not a physical sense, it's a spiritual sense, feeling the energy. The next spiritual sense, seeing the energy. With the practice, we can start seeing the energy. We can start seeing our auric field, bioenergy field. The next one is seeing the colors of energy, the colors of our auric field. This is one of the ceramic blocks. Thank you. This one we called egg-shaped block. And sit around them, and then you can really experience those energies emanating from those blocks. So seeing the colors of the energy. The next one, of course, is exchanging thoughts. Telepathy is spiritual sense. The next one is telekinesis. With the power of our intentions, we can move stuff. The next one is teleportation, moving through space and time. So these are spiritual senses. Like I said, visiting the tunnels, sitting there, relaxing, meditating, you can simply start experiencing your spiritual senses being waken up. Yeah. So this brings us to the next aspect of the pyramid project, and that's spiritual aspect. So now, as you can see, back in 2005, 6, 7, we started the archaeological project. Then we have expanded to the interdisciplinary scientific project, to the energy aspect, spiritual aspect, healing aspect. And this is not all. Like it was not enough. What we did, I spent all my US savings. I spent 25 years in Houston, Texas. Came back to Bosnia because of this project. We purchased 100,000 square meters, more than 1 million square feet of neglected, swampy, muddy land, filled with the garbage. This is all around the tunnels. And we have transformed this land with our excellent employees to the most beautiful European park, which has become the regional, cultural, musical, artistic, ecological oasis. We have a number. Okay, thank you for showing, my personal website, samosmanagich.com. So in this park, which we call Park Ravne 2, every year we organize festivals, especially summer solstice, which has become really unique in June, another one in August, but also many other events, sport events. Okay, now this is a poster for our summer solstice conference, June 15, June 22nd. We're going to have Michael Tellinger from South Africa, Valery Uvarov, Russia, Klaus Dona, Austria, Out of Place Artifacts. We're going to have J.J. Hertak and Desiree Hertak. They're both double PhDs, Ancient Civilization Explorers. We're going to have Ken Cherry, who is investigating also unexplainable phenomena. So it will be really fun. June 15, June 22nd to be in Bosnia, but every year we have these conferences. So basically, in the park, what we have a number of installations. They are artistic, they are musical, they are the true history. And when you see that from archaeology and science, spirituality, healing, energy, culture, sports, the way of living, the healthy food, this place has become the new healthy concept of the future. No wonder that more and more people are coming. They wanted to be part of this oasis of peace. No, last few years they are offering us a new Western values, transhumanism, upgraded human with the biochip under our skin, digital money, pedophiles being legalized, stuff like that. Well, being controlled 24 hours a day, being manipulated, I don't see that as the future of humanity. Thank you for showing those. Now, if you go back a little bit, go up, yes, okay. Now, what we see here, this is technology used by Dr. Harry Oldfield, late Harry Oldfield from UK. He invented a camera called PIP camera, with which he was able to see the energy inside and above the pyramid. So if you scroll down a little bit more. Yes, stop right there. You see, the first picture is showing a pointed hill in Bosnia, and above it, we can see horizontal energy fields. When you have natural fields, when you have cities, when you have valleys, when you have seas, those fields are always horizontal. But the picture below is showing the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun with the energy fields that are standing vertical. Why? Because energy is getting accumulated inside the pyramid, going up, hitting those horizontal fields, they become vertical, meaning the pyramid is energy active. And we've been filming our Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun for the last 2 decades. It's been active day and night. I've been filming personally Egyptian pyramids. Some of them are active, like Giza pyramids, yes, Kefren and Cheops. Some of them are not, like Step Pyramid in Saqqara. So you see how the archaeology can become so exciting and so interesting. But not only looking for pieces of ceramics or primitive tools, but together combined with all other scientific disciplines. So what we have here, and I'm going to finish with this monologue, we have the most exciting, not only archaeological project in the world, and I'm so happy. I'm really blessed to run this project and to have so many people getting involved, helping us. In the last 15 years, we have had 3,950 volunteers from 64 countries, from 6 continents, and some of them coming from Australia. I'm extremely grateful, and I'm really so happy to come to Australia very soon, in a couple of weeks, doing the tour in 5 major cities. We're going to start with the Perth, Western Australia, on February 20th. And then basically every day we're going to be moving to different places, to Sydney, to Melbourne, to Brisbane, to Byron Bay. And, I'll have a chance to share all this exciting information and then more from Bosnia. Of course, I'm going to invite everyone who's interested to come there. And if this project vibrates with them, I believe we're going to see them in the town of Visoko very soon. So this is the poster with the dates, with the places where we're going to have lectures. And I think whoever comes will be happy to be part of the happening. So thank you very much for your attention. You asked me one question and I've been talking for 45 minutes.
Right.
So be very careful with the questions.
Yeah. No, I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back to the basics. Because I would like to come over to Bosnia, and we've talked about it with a few friends, Dr. Joe as well, about getting a little group together and coming over. And as it's so massive, how many days, to get the most benefit of being in the pyramids? Because I know it's a massive space. So,
Yes,
I mean, you could do
you
both.
are right. It's a huge complex. It's about 50 square kilometers. So basically, you will need the car to go. Our guides, they have the car so they can show you around. But I think to stay 1 week is ideal time. You can stay 10 or 15 days or 3 days or 3 hours, doesn't matter. But 1 week is enough to see all the sites, the pyramids of the sun, the moon pyramid, the tumulus, several tunnels, and enjoy the park. And of course, if people are having some health, challenges, it's good to go inside the tunnel twice a day, 45 minutes each, once in the morning, then you go to other location, you go to the park, you eat something light, and you go for the second time. And then after a week, people really can see a nice change in their health. Even if they are completely healthy, they feel much, much better and much more energized. So 1 week is ideal to stay in Bosnia, but like I said, you can do more, you can do less. Now, we are open, unlike government institutions, museums, sites, and also we are open every day of the year, 365 days a year. We have 36 official guides. We have trained, speak different languages, English, German, and so on. And I think people can simply, come, they drop there, and they can find the guys, they can show them a few hours, 1 day tour, 2 day tour, 3 day tour, 7 day tour. And of course, we have people like Tara who are really kind enough to start bringing the groups because of their, benefits. And so they come, they bring, they promote, they do something from their heart. Not because they are paid, not because they are making money, but because they think this is something so important, globally important. And this is such a good experience for everyone.
Wow. And I had no idea there were so many pyramids in the world.
Yes, they are everywhere. I've been researching them and it's amazing. But unfortunately, in most cases, they don't want to touch them. For example, Canary Islands, especially Tenerife, 104 pyramids. And Spanish scientific community does not consider them pyramids. They are saying it's just a pile of rock. Instead, they are four-sided stepped pyramids. Thousands of volcanic rocks have been shaped in order to make them. And in China, the oldest pyramids are 12,500 years old, completely covered by soil vegetation, and the Chinese government does not have intention to uncover them because being sold completely changed the history of China. The same thing goes for some other pyramids, and even in Australia, until 2 years back, we had the Gympie Pyramid. It's a little bit north from Brisbane. Gympie Pyramid was actually shaped hill with the stepped in design. They were using drywalls to build those steps. On the very top, there are several megaliths next to each other, and there are 4 more megaliths showing the cardinal points, east, west, north, south. And guess what? The government decided to build a highway exactly through the location where the pyramid was located. So they destroyed it. They destroyed it, which is a shame because the pyramid was not made or shaped by the Aborigines. It was not made by the Englishmen hundreds of years back. It was made by somebody else. So it's another advanced civilization. So instead of researching, our civilization very often decides to destroy it.
Of course, of course. Why would they want you to go to somewhere sacred? And I did go to the Gympie Pyramids, and I got in touch with a guide that used to take people around, and he took us up to the top. And I remember standing on this big step or stone, whatever, and it was like a portal for butterflies. These butterflies were just coming from everywhere. It was magic.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What else was I going to say to you? So do you think there's still a lot more pyramids to be discovered in the world?
You know, the Mayan civilization built over 100,000 pyramids. How do we know that? The tiniest country in Central America is Belize. Belize had 1,000 Mayan cities, towns, and villages, and every one of them would have several pyramids. So it's 10,000 right there. Majority of them, of course, in Guatemala and Mexico. In Palenque, in the Mexican state of Chiapas, there are 25 uncovered pyramids because they cleared them. But originally 1,229, and the largest one. So much to do in the pyramid business. The most famous pyramid in Mexico, pyramid in Teotihuacan, pyramid of the sun, 150 years ago, it was almost completely covered by forest and bushes and soil. It took 75 years for Mexican and American archaeologists to completely uncover it. 75 years with the state funds. And now it's so beautiful, so monumental. So when we think about the pyramids, they are really everywhere. But still, the major question is the purpose. Now, in the case of Bosnian pyramids, we have done more in 2 decades than Egyptology in 200 years. The reason why? Over there in Egypt, Egyptologists jealously guard the project. In our case, we are the most open pyramid project in the world. We are getting scientists from different fields, and that's why we go so quick. So I would say once we start determining the purpose of pyramid, the healing aspect, the energy aspect, the spiritual aspect, then we should be able, through the reverse engineering, now this is a beautiful pyramid in Guatemala, now in the city of Tikal, we would be able to start building pyramids around us using certain, shapes and angles and slopes. And probably we could start making pyramids for healing, pyramids for the, to improve the water, to improve the food, and so on. So my point is, the pyramids were not built for one dead body, king or pharaoh. They were built for the living communities. They were built to last forever. And now it all makes sense. Why would somebody spend 6.5 million tons of blocks for, let's say, Great Pyramid of Egypt? Some of them coming from 869 kilometers, Aswan, granite blocks. Why would somebody incorporate so much astronomical calendar knowledge in those pyramids? Knowledge of sacred geometry for one dead body does not make sense.
No.
But to make energy amplifiers, to make energy machines that would affect in a very positive way our health and water and food and spirituality and immunity and communication, it makes perfect sense.
Wow. Well, you certainly live up to your name of Dr. Magic.
Thank you.
I wonder if you're aware of Glastonbury Tor here in England.
I come very often to Glastonbury Tor. As a matter of fact, this is my favorite place in England. The atmosphere over there in the village is so relaxed. It's probably New Age capital of UK, like Sedona is the capital, New Age capital of the US. Well, Glastonbury Tor, this is also conical hill, artificial. So somebody made it. Of course, the church came much later in the Middle Age, and the remnants is still there. People recognize it, but the tumulus is very important. And even more important is another tumulus in the UK. It's called Silbury Hill.
Yeah.
So many energetically important places in the UK. Of course, people usually think, in terms of Stonehenge, which is remarkable. Somebody was carrying those blocks 320 and 375 kilometers away from Wales. And of course, all the astronomy. But for me, I've done measurements both Silbury Hill and Stonehenge. For me, energetically, the most powerful location is actually Avebury circles. Originally, there were 3 circles that were using big megalithic blocks, 3 circles. And I have an instrument called experimental life energy meter. You basically measure the orgone energy, the life energy of the place. Okay, this is the Glastonbury. Thank you, Jeff. And the strongest, Glastonbury is strong. Stonehenge is strong. But strongest by far is Avebury stone circles. This instrument works on the scale from 0 to 100. For example, you measure the cities, 10%, they are contaminated. You measure the ground, the grass, 20%. You measure Glastonbury Tor or Stonehenge, about 30%, which is good. You measure Avebury stone circles, 65%.
Wow.
Humans are from 55 to 100. Stone circles in Avebury, 65. For me, it means, there you go. For me, they create such energetical, powerful place, like it is alive. And true enough, everything is energy. Everything is living. Energies communicate. If you are, careful enough, if you sit, relax, meditate, you are able to communicate, you are able to pull the information from that, spiritual field above us. Some people call it Akasha.
And interestingly, they've got a road through Avebury.
Yes, and probably another interesting thing is the ancient megalithic builders, they knew energy fields from below the ground. And of course, you are aware of the ley lines. These are energy lines, usually running straight, east, west, north, south, or diagonal. And they were building such powerful megalithic sites on intersections of several ley lines. And for me, it's very obvious that Avebury is located in one of those very powerful intersections of ley lines.
Wow. Well, so much information. It's been absolutely fantastic listening to you. And I know when Jeff went over before, and I thought, I really want to go there. So I know I'm going to have to look into making steps to go in for a visit. But well, I wish you well on your tour, and I'll share your flyer around as well for people to come in contact with you. So anything you'd like to ask Jeffrey or share or anything before we... Jeffrey?
Jeffrey's doing a great job in the background.
And sorry,
our project very good.
Right,
yes,
so
okay, so it's important that we okay, go there. Okay.
Yes.
I turned myself off because I had the frogs. We had rain in the last few days, and the frogs come out. So we're competing with them. Okay, so now Tara, let's go to you. You've been sitting here very patiently in Western Australia. Obviously, you're from Slovenia, but you made your way to Bosnia in 2007, and Dr. Sam's reached out to you to ask if you could facilitate all these different venues, and so that Dr. Sam could come and give a talk and present slideshow and a bit of video clips and all that stuff, because we actually saw him in Brisbane some 6 years ago. So it's, and a couple of friends have gone over there and travelled. So let's bring you on board and just give us a heads up how you've gone and put this all together. Because I mean, from what I can gather, I mean, Sam's really here just for 8 days. I mean, that's a lot of travel. I know what it's like, 14-hour flight, just to go from Brisbane to Doha. Yeah.
That's my last confirmation that he's running on Pyramids energy, because he's flying in on 20th, and on 21st there is already talk, and then the next one, the next one, the next one. It's achievement, I think. It's capacity to do that. But back before, it was not Sam asking me; it was me asking Sam. Actually, somebody else, some common friend we know. Visited Bosnian Pyramids first time. Parents are Bosnian. I grown up in Slovenia. Good part of my life before Australia. I live in Australia. I lived in Slovenia. So somehow, my heart is already half in Bosnia. And then in 2007, I heard about pyramids slowly, just short time after his first presentation. And I visited the first time 2007. And there were a group of friends, Slovenian friends. And it was not much to see back then. Like, I remember we were just crawling in tunnels, and, But when we came to tunnels, I just felt like this is real. This is not just. And then I returned one more time, and I just kept in touch. I kept following Samir's work and improvements. And as I said, in 2024, we visited, me and my partner, we visited 4 times. We took people there from America, from Australia. They loved it. I fall in love even more, and here I am. So I am keen to help, to share good news among Australian people and people that are interested in our topics. So, yeah, it's challenging work to do, but when you do it with love, a lot is possible. What Sam does, and he's seeing what they did on pyramids in little town of Visoko, and as you know, Bosnia is not a country on the world. What they achieved in short period of time is beyond amazing. So, yeah, with heart, and the show is called Dreaming a New Dream. With Dreaming a New Dream, everything is possible. It's not always perfect, and it's not without challenges. But yes, here we are.
Nice.
But I'll just share something. Dr. Sam put us into Visoko, into the new hotel there, and we found, our Australian SIM cards, our phone providers didn't have any coverage there, and that was with Telstra, which is a major telecom provider. So we ended up getting a local SIM card, but also the hotel had free Wi-Fi. I went across the road to a bank to get some cash, and they had some really heavy fees. So if you're going to go to a bank, I would suggest you don't do that. I found that the hotel and the supermarkets will take your debit card. If you do end up getting cash, that's fantastic. The Bosnian franc, they don't use euros, so the Bosnian franc was worth 2 French francs, 2 Bosnian francs, I beg pardon, for €1. And taxi drivers and restaurants would actually pay you back in Bosnian currency. So that saved a lot of money in terms of the bank fees. I think the bank fees were pretty close to 22 Bosnian francs, so about $11. But apart from that, hospitality is fantastic. I've never seen a country that sits outside smoking. It have to be the highest country in the world for smoking. It's just part of the whole habitat living in Bosnia.
That's true. That's true.
Culture.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Going to the park that Dr. Sam was talking about, Ravian. It's very nice to hear about Jovac Nokovic getting involved with the tennis project. So they got the tennis courts there, and you can see there's a little green concrete pyramid there that people can go in and meditate there. I went there. We had some international guests there who had all the sound equipment, and they were toning and doing the sounds. It was a very awesome experience, generally speaking. And then you got the little when you go to the entrance to go into the tunnels there, you got the little stalls and all that stuff, little shops that are set up. Then you can go purchase crystals, or you can get the little pyramid waters, or there's a juice bar there. There's some foods available. There's plenty of free parking. The entrance to the park is free. At the end of the day, Dr. Sam and his cohorts have done an extremely fantastic job, as he mentioned, without any assistance and help from the Bosnian government. Is that about where I'm at with this? The hotel, I've got to say, was fantastic. That's 6-star. I mean, your bedroom or your room that you go into is a really spacious, honestly, very, very spacious. And and you've got a shopping centre. So downstairs, it's in the basement. You go there, and it's God, I couldn't believe it. They had guns and ammo, and they had all the bloody stuff to go shooting anything you want. That's fantastic. Upstairs, all the supermarket, and the next one up, they had the restaurant, and there was other shops for girls. They have, the hair done and all that stuff. And then the next floor up, reception, you had the indoor swimming pool, you had the solarium. What else? Yeah, saunas, spas. Yeah, it's fantastic, mate. Absolutely brilliant. You go up top to top floor there, and you go in there, and they've got this whole room set aside for smoking. Fantastic. And on that floor, I tell you what, that's really good, because I found when I went and had a little venture up there, they got an astronomy centre. And I ended up going along there one night, and they had the telescope, and you could see the northern hemisphere stars. Absolutely bloody awesome. It was fantastic. Dr. Sam, I can't thank you highly enough. It was a leap of faith to make the jump. You had the biggest leap of faith because, I mean, you look behind me and you look at that particular mountain, hill, whatever you want to call it. Anybody in the world has probably seen that around their district where they live, no matter what country. But you actually saw the perception of visualizing it without the native trees and shrubs and greenery, and then you could see that underneath it was a pyramid. And I'm quite sure that goes for a lot of places in the world. They just need to open up their eyes to see something right in front of their face. So well done to you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Anyway, so what do we got here? There's a couple of questions just coming while we're talking. Stanton Drew stones.
The Stanton Drew stones, because they're meant to be older than the rest of them.
That's correct.
Sorry.
I can't. Right, I got a bar, so I can't read the question.
Is there any blue stones in Bosnia?
Any blue?
Blue stones in Bosnia.
Blue stones. Not like the one Stonehenge. Similar, yes.
Okay.
Stonehenge is the blue and the grey stone.
Very good. All right. I'll just put that thing up again, just let people know where they've got to go when they're traveling around Australia. This is it. Just Perth, 21st, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. You're over at the State Library Theatre in 25 Francis Street in Perth. The next day on the 22nd in Melbourne, you're going to the Multicultural Hub Drill Hall at 506 Elizabeth Street in Melbourne. It's right in the centre of town. On the 23rd, that's the next night in Sydney, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. The Cromer Community Centre, 150 Fisher Road, North Cromer. And then you having a lay day, obviously travelling. You're going to go up to Byron Bay on the 25th from 7 o'clock to 9. You're going to be at the Byron Bay Community Centre Theatre. That's 29 Johnson Street, Byron Bay. Andrena and I have been there. And then, of course, in Brisbane here on the Wednesday, the 26th, again, 7 o'clock to 9. It's the Queensland Multicultural Centre, 120 Main Street, Kangaroo Point. It's directly underneath the Story Bridge for all those people in Brisbane. looking forward to seeing everybody at any of these functions that Dr. Sam's going to have a chat. So there you go.
Correct. Wonderful.
Any words of wisdom that you would like to share before we close?
You know, when I was younger, I saw so many wrong things around us in the world. And I started writing books, and I thought when I write a book, and if I say that everything is wrong, you need to change people, but nobody listened to me. And as I was getting older, I realized that I need to do only one thing. I need to change myself. And that's change. You change. You are going to influence other people. So this has been, my life. And thanks to this project, thanks to many people who come, from who I learned, I became changed man.
Wonderful. Yeah. Well, I can't thank you both enough, and especially Dr. Sam and Jeffrey for putting up all these bits and pieces. So another fabulous show, and thank you so much, and I wish you well on your tour.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, guys.